Can you structure your deals with accountants that actually know the math inside and out? Hey guys, it's Chris Pre with smartrealestatecoach.com with another Deal Structure Sunday. I am joined by Mr. Link Ervin as usual. He's a regular on these now because his students are cranking deals. He's high six from North Carolina and a certified coach. And Marius Pavel, Marius, I think it's your second Deal Structure, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, welcome and welcome, Link.
Thank you.
Let's do this, Marius, since you are a veteran to these deal structures now. Let's talk about first where this deal came from, so the source.
Yeah, this was My Plus Leads expired.
Expired. Okay, for the viewers, just so you know, the My Plus is one of the sources we use, and it can be found on smartrealestatecoach.com under resources. So expired. And did you do a call yourself, or did it go through a broadcast of some sort?
Text broadcast on this one.
Text broadcast. Okay, good. This is different for people to hear. So text. And when you say text broadcast, it was a whole bunch?
Well, I structure, I do the initial outreach, and then if people respond, then, I call them, and that's exactly what happened here. So I get the list, and then I send a text.
So time from when you sent the first text to the actual call with them, and then to the actual agreement with them?
It happens fast. I mean, you send the text, you get a response within a day or two.
And then how fast to go to a contract for what we call a taken?
Well, he was under an agreement with the realtor at the time, so he had to do his work. But the house has been on the market for a long time, I think at least 6 months. So he had to go and cancel the contract. So I would say 7 days, just because of this different scenario. But
yeah, but still, that's fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so people can actually read. Let me clean that up. Okay, so let's go.
You can cancel a realtor for anybody that's wondering.
What was that? What he did what?
You can cancel a realtor for anyone who's wondering.
Yeah, for sure. Did you was there any language you had to educate the seller on, or did he get it and just go do it?
No, he got it. I mean, he was already on the market. There was no, for so long, and there was no movement. So yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Any nuances besides the teaser? We already said he's an accountant. So talk about that a little bit, because Link brought that up before we started.
Yeah, no, this guy is moving out of the area. He's lived there for 17 years. He's got his business practice out of I would call it like in-law suite, but it's got different rooms, separate separate entrance. So it's a neat house. It's a big house, 3,700 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3 baths, and it's just beautiful layout and a lot of improvements. So it's a very nice home.
Okay, cool. And what's the type of deal this is going to be?
This is going to be a sandwich lease purchase.
Sandwich. Okay, and how long?
Well, we asked for 4 years, but he wanted something shorter. So then we went back to the table and we offered 3 years at $300,000 plus an extra year at $3,000. So give him the option and just the comfort that he can get out. Not that he can get out, but if we close sooner, then he gets $300,000. If we close a little later, then he's going to get $3,000 more. So which works for us very well, because we don't have to give him the 303. We just have to give him the 300. So
48 option.
Yeah.
To leave it up to 2 accountants to stage it stage 2 with a $1,000 kicker.
Yeah, normally I tell Marius to dumb down the numbers, don't send the spreadsheet, but this time I said, I'll send you whatever you want to send, Marius.
Yeah, yeah. So what's interesting, and Link, you've had enough deals to comment on this too, and then because Marius has that background, I found bankers, accountants, anyone financial to be A, great sellers, and B, some great students. Like Mike, one of our high six? He came from a financial background. What do you guys think on that before we go into the deal?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's very logical and it's very clear, and It just makes sense. And, generally speaking, the people that have a problem with it either have a perfect house in a perfect neighborhood and they just have to sell, or they just see their house as their largest investment and they're leery. I mean, they just don't have the vision. But attorneys, accountants, doctors, lawyers, I mean, generally speaking, professionals seem to get it a lot quicker and easier, and it makes more sense.
Okay, and I want the viewers to hear this real clear. In this time frame we're in, and doesn't mean that once we're out, it's going to change. Economy's changed. I've seen 3 cycles. So right now, what Link said, we're just passing by it saying this is logical. This is what people need right now. They need logical and clear. They don't need ambiguity and emotion. And so we're providing that, among other things, during a tough time. What was this house on for with the realtor?
Appraised at 330, last listed was 317.
Was on 317?
Yes.
And then we tied it up. It's a sandwich. So
last on at 317.
What was that? Last on.
So it was last on 317. That wasn't where they started.
Yeah.
Right. So he's already been frustrated. Good point. Okay. So let's talk about this, guys. With a sandwich, we talk about paying the mortgage off plus cash. So what's the underlying mortgage?
Well, he has just a HELOC on it. So we agreed in the contract that he can take it up to 240,000. By the time a buyer moves in. So he's got actually 190 that he owes right now. But when the buyer moves in, he's going to bring it to 240, and then he's going to lock it there.
Okay, so that's part of the contract. Good.
Right.
If he ends up using less than in the contract, he would just get the difference at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to give him you're basically giving him 77 grand cash at the end plus paying off. Am I correct?
No, because 240 is where he's going to take the HELOC to, and then we owe him 303 for 48 months. So it's going to get 63,000 at the end of 4 years.
Oh, that's right. You tied up for 303.
Yeah.
Tied up 303. Okay. So the cash was, what'd you say, 63?
63 at the end, yeah.
So that's 63 cash. Okay. It doesn't mean you guys, I just want the viewers to hear this. Link's done this many times. It doesn't mean this thing's not renegotiable and that you can't pivot. These things pivot all the time. This is just where he is now. Okay. Sell price.
Sell price 349.9.
349.9. I like it. What came up on the call the other night, just for the viewers, is, Maurice would never want to put a number on like 341 or 342 because he's not going to change the buyer that looks at this house. That runs in like 25 grand increments. So 329, 324.9, 349.9, like that. Okay, so let's talk about payday 1 now.
All right, we're looking for 10%, 35,000 for payday 1.
35. Whoops. Yep. And payday 2, what's the mortgage payment outgoing?
Outgoing is 1,018.
And is that PITI?
There is taxes, insurance, and just interest on the HELOC.
Oh, did you say 1,018, not 1,800?
Yeah, 1,018. Yeah.
1,018, and that's interest only?
Interest only, no principal pay down.
Okay, so we'll talk about that on payday 3. And we're going to charge how much?
$24.95 we are in the market at.
Okay, so we don't care if we're not getting principal pay down because we're killing it on payday 2.
Yep.
Almost $1,500. What's this come to over the? What are you going to do for a term with the buyer?
Well, I calculated for 48 months. Obviously, I'm not sure if it's going to take it there, but at 48 months, its payday 2 is $70,896.
$70,896, which is just the difference between these two. So people, if someone's new watching this.
Right.
Okay, so payday 3, just so everybody, before we do the numbers, is usually sale price, of course, less the deposit, less the principal pay down. We don't have that. So what do we have here for a markup?
46,900 for the surplus on a home sale. Surplus, whatever.
Gosh, with no principal pay down, you have killer paydays here. What's this come to total?
117,796 for the total 3 paydays.
117.
Yeah.
Link, you know what's amazing? You see this now because you're coaching enough people. These deals, like the last several that we've done, have been $100,000 deals. Close to.
I like to have my students at 117. That's our bottom.
It's just it's crazy. So, and to our point earlier, yes, this time is the best time to be doing deals, guys. If you're watching this and you're out there, I don't care if you're in our niche or you're in another niche. This is the time to harvest. And I was said on a conference call last week that the next 6 months, so let's say 6 to 9 months, will create a decade worth of income. The way we do these terms deals, 3, 4, 5, 10-year terms. So now is the time to harvest. Maurice, in Link, any like ahas or cool things learned on this particular deal? In Link, probably comment on how much from a coach and student relationship you guys did on this deal.
Probably for me, the biggest thing was I kind of mentioned it kind of jokingly in passing, but Marius will tend to overwhelm people. He likes numbers and he will tend to overwhelm people with information. And so I've had to work with him to kind of tone that down a little bit. And to give it when they ask, not to be transparent, just not to overwhelm them so that it confuses people. So we've done, that's probably been my biggest contribution with him lately is structuring the deals, what deals make sense, and then making sure that he's presenting it in a toned down version so that our sellers can make an easy decision rather than making it a complex decision.
Yeah, sellers want, I said this before the virus hit, but sellers want clarity, not ambiguous and more. If you read a book called Story Brand, they talk about it, and they are like individuals, companies, they just complicate and they throw too much stuff out. Simple. Any lessons on your end, Marius? Like, because this is deal number what for you?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Actually, no, number 3
No,
is actually.
3.
Yeah, 3.
And what's the profit average on these 3 deals so far?
I think the first one was a 70 something. This one is a 117. So.
Then the very first one was actually an AO with an investor, and the investor he found someone to flip the house to, and we ended up losing the deal. So it
Gotcha.
wouldn't have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very, very similar to Chad and Karen Link that we did, the 3 of us did, 4 of us. These 2 deals put you at an average of almost 100 a deal.
Yep.
Not too shabby. So I don't know how you're going to juggle your other businesses when you get 2 of these a month, and why?
Bring it on. There's no need to juggle. Just focus. Hey, I'm not sure if it's relevant, but I listed it on Monday. Today we had a viewing. I pre-qualified a buyer. Next Monday we're gonna have our buyers meeting. So
7 days to a buyer meeting.
Yep.
That would have been the perfect opening, but we'll end it that way.
All right.
7 days to a buyer meeting. Okay, let's talk about that. So it took you literally just a few days to get from the text. Then it only took you 7 because the guy had to go tell the realtor. And then a week later, you have a buyer. So this whole process is 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
To create a new $100,000 that gets spread out over the next 48 months. Pretty cool.
Well, there's another nuance, Tim, because this deal I had to tell Marius the other day, relax, it's only been 3 days, relax. Like he gets all upset and worried about these deals. Oh, I don't think we'll ever sell this house. I don't think we'll ever find a buyer. I'm like, Marius. And he's found buyers in just less than 2 weeks on both of his properties.
Takes 1.
Yep.
That's it. All right, guys. Thanks again for being on, Link. Thanks as always for the amazing work you're doing in general, pumping out these deals. Guys, if you want to work with Link or you want to work with one of our other coaches, we are guiding and we are your lifeline, literally. And I mean that. I don't mean it because of the virus going on right now. We have students that are cranking out deals every single week. You're hearing them and you're seeing them. So don't wait. If you're in a different niche, you want to add this to what you're doing, great. if you're in the industry or a business and you've never been in real estate and you think this might be the answer with all the craziness going on, you're right. Come on board. Let's get you set up and let's get you cranking deals out. We now have a package. It might not even be out as of this release, but you can go ahead and email my assistant, Kristen, to get information. It's going to be combining one of our levels of coaching with the QLS. In other words, the QLS will be free for you if you take advantage of that. So email Kristen, Kristen, at smartrealestatecoach.com. I'm sure she'll be thrilled that I threw that out there. And you guys, thanks again for being on. And Marius, congrats. I want to see you on here every week.
Thank you. Yeah,
right.
Me too.
Thanks, guys.